The Intercept has published a really big expose on the new case in the United States against DuPont for their Teflon products. Interestingly enough, our friend Mike Papantonio, attorney and host of Ring of Fire, is lead counsel on this case. And this is a big case for Pap. It is, there's this whole backstory to this Teflon case where an attorney working on the case stumbled across a document that mentioned this compound called PFOA and started looking into this. PFOA is a compound known within the chemical industry as a surfactant because it reduces the surface tension of water. And it's slippery, it's chemically stable, it's a critical ingredient in many products, including Teflon. And slowly but surely, as these attorneys often are able to discover, the documents pointed to knowledge from DuPont that this product and Teflon may be harmful to health. And I encourage you to read the entire Intercept piece, which has stories of individuals and so many other stories. We're going to be following Pap's case against DuPont. What do you think, Lewis? I know you've heard of this Teflon controversy. It's not always easy, number one, to tell if you have a Teflon pan. Sometimes you can tell, sometimes you can't. There are many products likely harming us, and we just don't yet know. And of course, there's the convenience factor, Lewis, right? I mean, there are alternatives to have a non-stick pan that is not a Teflon pan, but here we have convenience versus possible health effects, and we will see what happens with this case. Where are you on Teflon?
Well, I avoid it at all costs. And without having known about all of this stuff a while ago when I was working in the restaurant industry, there would be these nonstick pans that would be covered in scratches because cooks might be using harsh metal utensils on them. And so I could smell the chemicals coming off of this stuff. It would seep into the food. And I'm thinking to myself, you don't smell this, you don't realize this, and it smells horrible. And I just thought that, best to avoid this stuff. I use stainless steel pots and pans. They work perfectly fine. I clean them and there's no crap on them. And, that works.
All right, so talk to me about this, Lewis, because I was researching. I still have some Teflon pans, and I think I'm going to get rid of them at this point. Specifically, when I move to Boston, will be a really good opportunity to get rid of them. Cast iron is considered like this is the safest thing, cast iron, but it is tougher to get non-stick to happen with cast iron, and there are different strategies for doing it, including keeping a sort of coat of oil on the cast iron skillet all the time and using the right cooking temperature, etc. But it is kind of tough to get cast iron to be non-stick sort of casually in the way that Teflon is non-stick.
Yeah, but there are people use cast iron differently. Certainly in some situations, cast iron is ideal, and you might want to have a skillet around depending on what you're cooking. But stainless steel just seems to be perfectly safe, and it's very easy. It's not as heavy as the cast iron, and it works well for me.
There it is. So stainless steel, better for the non-stick component than cast iron, and a completely different situation than Teflon as far as chemicals. There's another coating called Thermalon, which is supposedly safe, right? It's a safe version of Teflon, but to be honest, I have not looked into whether it is indeed safe or not. Safest for sure is cast iron. Stainless steel appears to be a sort of good option that seems safe and is more non-stick than cast iron. Send me your thoughts on this. We will be following this case, and we will report the outcome and if any wrongdoing is accepted. Often in these cases you get a settlement, Lewis, from the company where one of the provisions is we will pay out victims, plaintiffs, but we do not want to admit wrongdoing. And that can often be more confusing because 5 years down the line, people will research Teflon and they'll say, oh, wait, there was never wrongdoing admitted in this case, so I'm not worried about it. And that can often be deceptive.
Yeah, but that this is making headlines, I think, is a good thing. So we can be thankful for that. And, everyone just avoid the Teflon pots and pans.